Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 in this best of 3 series between Beyond Infinity and WuJie here in ESL One Manila SEA Qualifiers. Best of 3 that might be over as quickly as the last one. Beyond Infinity pulled out a 16-17 minute win with a pretty early push strat. Time around though, a little bit of that panned out. My name's Dragon Jaw, bringing you this game alongside the one, the only Ryu Burrows. How are you doing?
Yeah, how's it going, man? Have you come up with anything to get back on that shots fired yet? Am I, can you find anything? Find any dirt on me?
No, I would feel bad actually shooting at you because
Because I'm
that's
handicapped.
yeah
Jeez.
you're
No,
such a
I
bad
don't.
cast. I don't want to drag it down even further.
I know the feel. I know the feel. I'm a baddie. You're a goodie. That's why we mix so well.
Indeed, indeed. All right, Beyond Infinity, the Indian squad here, definitely pulling it out in game one. As I said, very swift victory. This time around, though, maybe a little bit different to pick up the Void first. So that says to me, all right, maybe a bit more of a mid-game oriented strat, which they are known for here, according to CloudX. He told me that they are actually known as the comeback kings of India, and that they generally have some of these longer games actually, and they struggle a bit in the early game, but they always come back in the mid game. We'll see, maybe we get more of that this time around for the Gyrocopter with the Faces Void. Already good combo to make that happen in the mid game.
Yeah, maybe they only like running the Nature's Prophet with the push strategy and going around the map and killing everybody. And when they don't have it, they just go for the later stage in the game. They go for heavy team fight control. And it'll be very interesting to see. If you say they're the comeback kings, well, this is one of the lineups to do it with. Faces Void, Gyrocopter. It's going to be it scales really well into the later stages of the game, but it also scales really well in the mid game here. Once they start getting these ultimates online, and it's a really good hero right now for two purposes. Faces Void, he can get a lot done in the off lane. You have to kind of put like an Ursa or something against them to really shut him down, or even Sven does really well against Faces Void. And Gyrocopter is really good at zoning out the Enchantress in the off lane, taking it to her, got a lot of damage, but they still need some kind of support to help out against the Enchantress creeps here. And we might be seeing Doom plus Enchantress taking up that off lane role that was probably the original plan from Wu.J last game. But since they picked the Enchant and they went aggressive with the Vengeful Spirit and Bane, their dreams kind of were shattered, and the Enchantress kind of had to fall back and help the Slark, and they just got completely crushed.
Yeah. I mean, Doom Enchantress, it's actually sounds like a very nasty offlane duo to deal with. I mean, akin to what we saw at the beginning of last patch, I believe it was, with the Doom Lich. Was it this patch? I don't know. It's been a while ago, but we've seen that dual lane every single time almost for like a couple of weeks. It was really hard to deal with because you couldn't kill them, right? And couldn't even get them out of position because the Lich would direct the lane back every single time with the sacrifice. Always harass you down with the Ice Blast. And Doom obviously still super tanky, not as tanky as he was, but still. I'd see a similar kind of situation here. They do pair that up. At the same time, might as well be the jungle enchantress or the jungle too. Speaking of heroes that we haven't seen in a while, Skyroth Mage being picked up here by Wu.J. What do you make of that?
Could be a block pick for the Faceless Void. Also, it's an amazing hero to deal with the Faceless Void in own right, where you just silence him and you have enough damage early on before he starts time walking. But yep, this is you open with Gyrocopter and Faceless Void, and you're kind of baited into this situation where like, oh, they're probably not going to push. Well, they still have the next two picks, and they pick up the Chen and the Shadow Shaman. This is going to be an amazing here. I love Shadow Shaman against Enchantress if she doesn't have creeps. If she does though, then he gets completely boned. His movement speed is appalling early on. It's like CM, you know, you're just walking around. Need to have boots early on to be really effective. And with the Chin versus the Enchantress again, will be interesting to see if they go for that head-to-head battle early on again.
I mean, technically they could, right? I mean, Shadow Shaman maybe not the best aggressive trial laner here, simply because his biggest disable the shackles, which is insane. 2.75 seconds or something like that, level 1.
10 seconds remaining.
Yep. Stun duration, but it also disables itself in a sense. Chen
Radiant
also not
team
ideal here. You need to get a creep or two, but a Gyrocopter would definitely be one of these heroes that can be very strong in an aggro try. I don't really see it though. I mean, Witch Doctor Skyra, they can punish you heavily here if you're just out of position for a little bit. Right. Fuji still looking for the mid hero, presumably. What are you thinking now? Invoke has been banned. OD has been banned. There's
10
still Zeus in the pool. That's what we're looking at.
Razor.
Zeus would have been good
Razor.
against the Chen lineup. It helps burst down the gyrocopter, forces them into a BKB in most situations, but they're going to pick up a Razor here for the mid lane. It's one of those heroes that, well, actually this looks like to be an Enchantress in the mid lane.
Yeah, Razor's on one position, I think. Noob offlane.
Yeah.
Oh.
It seems to be the situation, obviously with the Witch Doctor and the Skywrath Mage being picked up like that. I mean,
5
Doom
seconds remaining.
used to be running the mid lane sometimes. I really loved it when he had the level death. You could kill anybody
Oh,
at
yeah.
level 4 or 5 once your level death hit twice. You do twice the damage. But since he has Inferno Blade, I don't think he can get away with that. Puck mid against Enchantress. That's a really good matchup for the Enchantress, where I'm going to be very interested to see what happens. And Puck versus Razor mid as well, it's very good for the Razor again, where you have to orb away, and that forces Razor to still win in the battle, because Puck normally has to use his orb to last hit, but he'll still manage to get at least 7 to 14 damage off every single time he static links the Puck. I'm very worried for this last pick, but I'm not thinking there was too much left besides maybe a Viper for Beyond Infinity to pick up in that mid lane. Wind Ranger's decent against the Razor if it is put in the mid lane, but curious to see where they put their lanes.
Yeah. So, I mean, the standard way to go for Beyond Infinity here would be to just put the Void off lane, make a defensive trial lane or dual lane rather with Chen in the jungle, and go for some early rotations if you find an opening and Puck in the middle lane. It might very well be what we see here. For the other side though, it's more up in the air. Let's see. Who was mid last time? Was it also Johnny?
No, Johnny was safe lane carry. That's why it's GG in the mid lane here.
Yep.
But
He's got the build for it, right? But yeah, Razor mid. We'll see how the lanes take shape as we first see a bit of a smoke here.
actually, it could be Skyrath Mage mid too. Like, they both have the items
Yeah.
for mid lane.
Plenty of shared tangos here on the Skyrath too. We shall find out soon. Let's take a quick look at the lineups. Actually,
30 seconds.
might
Rip
see
my
engagement
Shaman.
first. Yeah, Shaman. Yeah, he pops a smoke. They will know that he's here. There's a slow. There's a cast to keep him there. A couple of right clicks should do the trick. With an extra slow. So that's the first blood going the way of Wu.J. So off to a good start already. As they claim that one on Zeta's Buck on that Shadow Shaman. Other heroes are gonna be Gyrocopter up on top here in one position. It's gonna be played by Blizzard. In the middle lane, we've got no chance right now on the Chen, looking to block some creeps. Down here at bottom room spot, we've got Swifty on that Puck, and Batusai on that Faces Void, looking to take over the offlane.
And we got WuJie GFKN. What a good. I'm trying to think of an analogy here for. I'm just gonna call him J. I'm gonna call him J. Playing Witch Doctor here. No, that doesn't work either.
It's a good
gonna have-
freaking kawaii name.
They
It's the best I
have
can
so
come up
many
with.
weird like characters here. You got GG, SMD, GFKN. What a team, guys. All right, but we got GG playing the Razor here, GFKN playing the Witch Doctor, and Kang playing the mid lane here, Skyrath Mage. That's a really good frostback. Johnny playing the Roaming Enchantress, and we've got BBK playing the Doombringer.
Alright, so it is gonna be the Skyrath Mage middle. Most like that more, he's kind of vulnerable though, right? I mean, as soon as Puck hits level 6, obviously, and he's still sticking around, But we're just gonna straight up die unless he gets the silence off in good time before the puck. Then he can maybe turn it around with a good couple of nukes. But as it stands, he doesn't really have anything to protect himself from any sort of chain rotations or anything. Don't even have walls put down to maybe scout out for that, unless it's necessitated smoke. I guess if they're aggressive with the Enchantress, then they're gonna prevent that from happening anyway, right?
Yeah, the problem still will be if they do get the Ancient Seal out once he's level 4, they can easily gank the mid lane. They're also setting up with the Tornado here, and he probably needs to get silenced at level 3. That hurts a lot for Swifty. He wants to start off with having the orbs for a lot of harassment, but maybe if he could cancel out using the silence here, would help out a lot against the Wildkin. Maybe he should have stayed bottom lane just for the 2-minute rune. That's a weird rotation back into the mid lane here. Chen will be getting the rune here. I guess that'll help him a lot if he wants to get Test of Faith or Penitence going for a kill.
Secure both runes, region up
He's
top.
going
Not
mid
do too
lane,
much for
so
him, but look
aggressive.
at this. Yeah, look at this damage here on Swifty. So the level 1 in the Ancient Seal now with the orb in doesn't actually jump to it as Chen. A bit of a net. So obviously with that low health, you can easily get right clicked and arcane orb down by the Skyrock Mage. Still, this is not good for Puck.
Yep, Puck is doing fine though. Like 8-4 to 9-2. He just did miss a wave right now under the tower. I think the play there was to salve up while you were orbing and go onto the Skywrath Mage. You have to force him back, and you have to force him to use more regen. Like, that's the biggest thing. Because the Skywrath Mage started off with such a greedy build, he wasn't really punished at all by the puck. He wasn't really aggressive enough. He's able to get this really nice timed bottle, and that's just showing maybe a little bit of inexperience in the mid lane, but
Let's talk about the other lanes a little bit. As might
Yeah,
see
top.
some aggression up top. There's a rocket rush coming out onto GGSD, and now a lot of that
Oh
on
my.
GFKN as well. Just sitting in the front lines a bit too much. Nines all the burst with Test of Faith, plus the Shadow Shaman Ether Shock, which is one of the highest damaging spells at level 1 with 140 single target. Almost as good as the Setter. The Shockwave, which is also 140 damage, but an AoE of course.
I'm just looking at the mid lane constantly. He was trying to throw out arcane bolts, and then all he does is just phase shift. So
Yeah.
he has to cast the Ancient Seal so he can harass the puck. But, oh, there we go.
Oh, not gonna do that now. Is he gonna die here? Nah, not a lot of mana left on Kang. So it's not lasting long enough to really bring down Swiftly, but at least harassing him out quite a bit. Meanwhile, top though, look at this. Lizard. Out with the cast, bouncing back between him as well as the catapult. Him a lot of damage over on this Razor, and more than enough
Dire's middle tower
bring
is
him
under
down,
attack.
even without the Enchantress there.
Easy kills. All over the board. We haven't talked about this offlane at all. We should talk about it. The Doom versus the Faceless Void. Both are relatively even in this matchup right now. So good to see nobody's really taking advantage of it. But Toasty, he doesn't have anything in time dilation. I think that's a big misplay. Sure, you're in this 1v1 matchup, and time lock can help out a lot for maybe getting solo kills, but time dilation against a Skywrath Mage is going to be crucial in this mid-game stage. You
Yeah.
use that on the hero, Arcane Bolt is completely useless. Mid lane, no, they got the stun eventually. Watch
Silence
out.
come out, follow-up stun from the center here, will connect here. Swifty might be able to orb out still, there it is. Will be able to survive, just barely here.
I'm
But-
shocked he didn't level up. Well, that's 350 damn mana. Holy shit. I forgot how expensive it was for Mystic Flare.
Expensive.
Top lane
Yeah, here's it
Chrono.
now. Oh, hello. Gonna be able to get GG SMD to Rocket Barrage after that Chronosphere. It's a good rotation here from Faceless Void. Utilizing that, getting closer to level 7, maybe put up a point in time dilation, because I think you're absolutely right. I mean, time dilation up against any sort of hero that relies on being able to spam out spells to be effective is just devastating. Right? You're thinking of Bristlebacks, thinking of Vengeful Spirits, these supports throwing out stuns every once in a while, but obviously Scarab Mage also falling into that category. Now, immediate TP back, looks like they wanna keep going here. Keep on
And
keeping on.
And now they have another ulti online that can help out in rotating. So they have Puck's ulti and the Faceless Void. He's utilized it very effectively
Radiant's
for the
middle
first
tower
chrono.
is under attack.
Now we have Puck who can come into the top lane and disrupt this aggressive Razor. They might want to just switch up lanes eventually here for Wu.J. Because if they keep Razor up here too long, he's not going to find enough solo EXP. But they want to put the pressure on Blizzard, and he has no support right now.
Online as well, BBK also not having support, doesn't actually have the Scorched Earth for a little while, but he's fast enough for the face boots. Can't quite get the damage in. Meanwhile up top, there's maybe a bit of a rotation there from Johnny. Doesn't have the best creep to go for it, but he actually found himself a Dark Troll Summoner, so that tends to help more. Might find Zedis back here. That is not safe for you, Shaman. Safe whatsoever, but he turns around quickly enough that they shouldn't really be able to get any sort of disable towards him.
Yeah, with Blizzard having reached level 6 now, moments ago, they should not dive this tower unless they have Doom. Oh,
Bottom lane
speaking
again,
of Doom,
speaking of him, yeah, that's Scorched Earth now. Used it a little bit early, and that's constantly being pushed up by the Spanisher here. Gets a stun off, and enough mana for that. Will still end up falling to the burst, but now Kang maybe for a little bit of
baited
counter,
in
but
by
there's gonna
Chen.
be a Chronosphere in 1 second's time. They're gonna be able to use that here. A couple of right clicks should do the trick. Meanwhile,
top
on
lane
top,
too.
what's happening here? Call down on the coil. 50 coming in, setting that up for Blizzard. Hey, all of a
Chen
sudden.
did go down in the end. A 4-for-1 trade
wow, he
there.
did.
Really good job all around the board for the Indian squad. They're just putting pressure everywhere. Nice rotation moments after I talked about it. The Puck goes top, and then bottom lane, the cooldown of the Scorched Earth. Easy kill on the Doombringer. But now they're looking for some payback. It's daytime now, so they need to smoke up. This is a really good play. Coming in the top lane here. Hopefully they can put some pressure on. They need to get a tower. That's my biggest worry. They didn't get any last game. Might have had one. I don't even think they got any. No, they got the tier 1 top. But they need to start learning how to put pressure on for Wu.J if they want to start coming back in these games.
Smoke will be popped. Can't really get in range for anyone. Zedis back in the side, just TP's out, back to the tier 1 tower. Absolutely sure that he's not intercepted here. It looks like they might just turn it into a tower push, as you said, knowing that some of these ultimates are on cooldown, but cooldown obviously being very low. Same for the coil really, it's also back off cooldown. Swifty has a TP scroll. He wants to TP top, make something happen.
They also have Hand God online. Oh,
There
this
it
is
is.
going to be so
TP
bad.
comes in, cooldown, maybe a little bit early. He catches BBK in the first rocket in the back. And he still has the Doom available, might just be bursting down to fucking get it off. Yeah. No Doom, no Witch Doctor, and now WuJie have to be on the retreat. They have Kang teleporting in, but it's too little too late. They might lose more here, but Creepy Wave unwilling to dive the tier 1 tower. Definitely a good decision. Meanwhile down in bottom lane, GGSMD putting some pressure on his tier 1 tower himself, trying to farm up. He has 40 last hit, so it's not so bad, but if you compare Razor's impact to Gyrocopter's impact in a mid game, I'm not sure that's going to be enough.
Yeah, their lineup is really weird to say the least. Because Skywrath Mage, you normally don't see him in the mid lane just because a lot of the other mid heroes can do what he does and better. And we've talked about it enough. I just think Faceless Void just counters act the hero, and I think once you get a Glimmer Cape online with any of the supports coming in from Beyond Infinity, you'll understand why this hero doesn't get picked up anymore. Like, one item just completely crushes his days.
Oh, they got tier 1, they gotta get the tier 2 now as well, not wasting any time on the Indian squad, but setting up for a bit of defense. They don't have a lot of teamfight control though. I mean, all that WuJie have right now is just walk in and hope to survive and back off the Scorched Earth. They have the Witch Doctor now, 2 points up in cast, but no ultimate. Or at least they will be able to farm off the wards and keep Beyond Infinity out, but they can just easily turn around with the goal on Kang. He's just gonna get bursted down with the silence as well. Not quite maybe with the enough peels, and now a lot of damage towards the Gyrocopter. You will fall. There's a Chronosphere until 3. Where's the follow-up though? They don't have any. That's gonna be a wasted ultimate. Might still catch him here with the slow coming out. Or else though, out of mobility. Can't chase any further, but still a really good exchange there from WuJie.
Yeah, the Puck baited his team in. It was sad to see. It was like, oh, I have this amazing dream coil and we can chase. Let's go. But Witch Doctor's Cask and the amount of Magic Wand charges up in the mid lane. Speaking of Magic Wand, is Kang. He was going very aggressive on the puck, but nothing's going to happen out of it. But back to the top lane, they're going to be able to pressure here, TP in from
I'm not
puck.
sure about this. Yeah, I mean, they get a bit of a stun on BBK. As the Doom tanking enough to survive the initial onslaught. Zenithblock here with the shackles onto the Razor. Heal comes out. There's still a lot of damage being done. Shen will end up falling too, but Caldon coming in from the back leads up the Doom, and now this side here. The tower's fallen, but he's still trying to track down this Razor in the back, whereas Johnny just keeps Blizzard and Zenithblock a little bit busy up here. Razor's still alive. They need to use a call. Bring him down. Was Johnny able to DB out just in time? It was going down. I mean, wasn't really convinced about BI taking that fight like this with Blizzard kind of teleporting mid earlier. Same for Swifty.
Dire's middle tower has
No
That fight
Chronosphere.
would have went
Yeah.
completely bad for Beyond Infinity if the gyrocopter didn't make that amazing rotation behind the backlines, and
Yep.
Enchantress got out, so it was like a 2-for-1 trade at the end of the day, and they got the tier 1 tower mid. So finally applying some pressure on the map elsewhere, doing a really good job. I think that was an even trade all around the board coming in for both sides.
Take a look at the graphs here. BI still favored, but only by a little bit. Nowhere near as much of a storm as we saw in game number 1 with that heavy burst strat. 3k in terms of experience though, so a bit better coming their way. If you look at the levels though, everyone's having level 6 by now. Both sides. So the problem that I see for Wu.J is they're the ones who really lack big team fight control. They have a lot of pick off here. They will have some sustain here once they really get a mechanism going. And who's building that actually? What do you think? Is it going to be the Razor or the Doom?
I would like Doom to get drums, and I would like Razor to get some at least DPS items like Saint Yasha or something along those lines, and then into a BKB. So I don't know if they're necessarily going to get a mech in time, but they're doing a huge smoke around play that could be very good or very bad, depending on if they can get the Doom off.
All the ultimates are up. They have to take down Space's Void, but time walks into trees here. They still get the silence off Porto. And
Oh
Porto
my.
doesn't see everyone though. The air is there. There's the war. Sewer's down already. GGSD just trying to TP out. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. Core in the side. Same for Doom. Core from the net from Chen. That was a 4-man wipe if I've ever seen one. They didn't even need to use the chrono because there was a 4-man call into call down. Ah, that was nasty.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Okay, right
Sometimes
into that one.
you feel like the play is to Doom the Face's Void, but then you just forget about the amount of AoE
Yeah.
that still comes in between the puck and the gyrocopter. It was a really good play for them to do that wraparound, but because they had the vision on this high ground, they felt really safe, but they didn't know. Meanwhile, Beyond Infinity were right below them, and they were just ready to turn around. So maybe don't use all of your spells or don't clump up. Like,
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing. Them clumping up there, you needed to have, as you're talking about, a mechanism or some BKBs to really combat all that magic damage. And more pressure is being applied. Nice net.
It's gonna be BBK going down again, most likely, and Scorch Earth going, but it can only help you so much. GFK and will get hexed out the cask, giving him enough space here, bouncing between the right targets. Keep him safe for the time being, but hey, look at this Kang and Johnny there. It's an avalanche coming away, a big army, and the coil from the fresh complete blink dagger from Swifty here, and Johnny will try, will snap that. Keeps him in place for a little while longer while they finish up at the Scar.
Oh, blink and one, he can block him off. There we go. Good game.
Goodbye, Enchantress. Ah, this is...
Your last move.
It took Beyond Infinity a little bit longer to get going, but now they're once again in this comfortable position where they say, they can just say, alright, let's group up, take team fights, just pick off whoever gets in our way, and take the odds off of that. Right now, kind of being traded, GGSMD trying to do what he can, drag them back, but it's only Razor without an Agnum Scepter, so there's so much he can do in terms of pushing power.
Cute little play there coming in from the puck, you know, just orbing while you're about to go back to base with the chin send back, and then you just come back in full bottle,
Oh, yeah.
help healing everybody up, and then you're even going to get a rune spawn here. Looks like they're going to be wanting to go for Roshan, and it's just right after that big team fight, like WuJie are feeling bad about themselves, like, oh, we just got caught out, and they just played sloppily right afterwards, giving that kill on Doom, giving the kill on the Skywrath, then the Enchantress. It's just slowly self-destructing when it doesn't need to be. Like, sure, you take one bad team fight, but you don't need to keep giving it more and more.
Well, Wolves have committed to make sure that Roshan will fall at a reasonable time, but now Chen has to be careful not to run into too many people. Might lose some of his creeps here as Kang is on the high ground. Blizzard, though, he has no fear whatsoever. Is being blocked off by the Centaur, though, and stunned up. Impetus is online, so he can do a decent amount of damage. Might be trigger the Aegis here, but there's the puck coming in with the silence, with the burst. Chantrel's first one would fall. BK gets a do, but they really want to kill the Dark. It's the Aegis, he doesn't give a damn. Ultimate comes out from Kang, man, spread across a couple
They even
of
sent him back
heroes.
to base!
First.
He had the Aegis for high ground siege, and meanwhile
I sent
Razor's
back-
got a Midas and pushing mid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kappa.
They even saved the Jarek after everything being committed on him. There's 3 heroes on the route, on the way. What's the silver lining here? I mean, talked about the Razor having the Midas, so I guess if this goes late, they... No. It's not really
Just no Dragon Drop, just no.
It's just... Casters, we're supposed to look for these kind of opportunities, but Beyond Infinity, if they keep going like that, I don't see it stopping anytime soon. They have a very good mid-game lineup, and we'll smack dab in the middle of the mid-game.
It shows you the inexperience of the team, where right when you lose a team fight, you're just like, oh, well, we have to make something happen immediately afterwards, or, oh, we're gonna all split up and farm, and everything was punished. They split up, they farmed, they got picked off because they didn't have the supports in the right places, and they got really greedy, and then right afterwards they try and go to Roche, too late, they get picked off again, and it's just a very inexperienced team where they could just, one, they need to go in the jungle, the enemy jungle, and they need to ward up, and they need to find them just farming. You have to find out where the enemy team is farming. That's when you can either farm freely, or you can smoke up and go anywhere on the map and make a big play. But since they don't have vision, they don't know where the enemy is right now, they have 0 wards, well, kind of scouting out the enemy jungle, right? They have all eyes on the Roshan side and in their jungle, but
Radiant's middle
it's
tower is under
not
attack.
looking good for WuJie.
Beyond Infinity, though, they're kind of feeling good. They've got a bunch of items here, Chen, with immediate guarding Greaves. 2.5 minutes into the game, they just finished up another blink on a Face's Void, even before finishing up the Blast, recognizing that all of a sudden he's getting a lot of gold. Get that active initiation, even if the puck gets silenced up or something like that.
Radiant's middle
Now
tower
I'm just gonna go high ground, save the wards, they still have the Aegis.
Radiant's structures
Lift is forced down, but can WuJie really fight this, right? Once again, it goes back to them not having any sort of teamfight control whatsoever. Have to try and whittle down with Jarek, though. He's being healed up by the Guardian Race for the time being. Might be able to burst him down, but it's gonna come right back. Got the call in up. Down on the Face's Void, it's only gonna delay the Chronosphere for so long. This puck comes in, lowers his load, and bring down the Enchantress. And they just really want the tower by the looks of it. Nice little cat there, Blizzard. Dropping low to all this long range damage, but this is the point where they should just say, alright, actually, there's the Chronosphere. Onto core target, Blizzard on the outside, that board as well, but far away from Beyond Infinity. Zero's Skywind will fall immediately. Enchantress won't have the attack speed or the damage to really do anything either, so Doom falls on the front lines where the tower once stood, and that should be a set of racks at the very least here. They can't take any more as the tier 2s are still up on the side lanes, so this is still a huge victory for Beyond Infinity.
Radiant's middle barracks has
They
fallen.
going on the park now. God, what?
Radiant's bottom tower is
Didn't get
under
it
attack.
one, but I was like, what the hell? You look at it, Dagon. Feel it. Get there for a second.
Unseen.
They're just playing so good right now, rotating everywhere. They're just another level, maybe even 2 levels above WuJie's play right now.
So, is there silver lining here? Is there any sort of item pickup, something that WuJie can work towards to maybe get a pickup here and there reliably? No. okay.
No.
Just ignore me.
There's no
alright.
hope for them. Sorry, somebody came in the room.
Right. Yeah,
There's a lot of distractions in life, you know. Sometimes you just have to say no to them. No.
no.
I'm just kidding. But
Wasn't your girlfriend bringing you a sandwich and you shouldn't have said no? You should have said yeah, thank you.
no.
Radiant's bottom tower
Okay,
is under
too bad.
I'm putting all my distractions in the trash can later.
Oh god. Sometimes I don't know what to say to you.
Radiant's bottom tower has
You just
fallen.
don't know.
Hey, that was a really good joke. I'm gonna have to save that for later.
Oh man.
That was a good one. I'm very impressed with myself right now.
Well,
As impressed with
at
the
least-
Indian squad.
At least you are happy. Yeah, I mean, BeyondIN, they can be happy too. They have another set of wards. They should get another tier 3 here. The coil in the back, onto 2, on top of the silence. Johnny almost dead. Doesn't call now. Zoning them out even further. Chronosphere onto 2 as the call snaps on Johnny. And his voice not quite deciding on a target here. Doom goes off on the Lizard, but do they have the follow up here? They have a lot of damage on their channel. It's GGS and they focusing on that one. They'll be the first one to fall in this particular team fight actually. 150 not actually getting the kills this time around, so maybe a bit of an opening for Wu.J to defend the base, but they still lose the tier 3. Hey, at the very least they will be able to farm some of these swords with the goes for a bit of an extra burst. What are you doing there then?
Correct.
He's just blinked into the trees earlier with that fresh blink dagger of his. Zaps down the Doom on the retreat. Yeah, still loses his own life. But hey, probably worth it.
Oh yeah, worth it. Trading a Doom for Rasta, I'll take that any day of the week as long as the Doom's not a support or something. But in this case scenario, oh yeah, nice big play there coming out. Did his job. I think he even bought before he died, so he's halfway to his egg, and once that's online, the buildings just melt. There's no way of stopping the wards. And the time dilation, if everybody saw that who's watching, you see how useless Skywrath Mage is, and he basically had a 4-man time dilation or something crazy. Oh, that hurts tremendously when you're not able to cast your spells constantly. So, really well played from Faceless Void here, but so far I want to say the Beyond Infinity, they're not really standing out too much. It's just kind of like an all-around good team effort so far, but. So I want to see how they're gonna fare against like better teams.
Yeah.
And
if
I'm
they
not saying
win
this game
one-
is necessarily over yet, but when you're, 15k gold ahead for what 5 minutes now,
Yeah.
and you've already got a Rax knocking on the second one.
I
It's
don't
just a
think
huge discrepancy in skill. right
I
now.
don't think this game is unthrowable. So don't think that without any sort of major mistake, major extension from Beyond Infinity, don't think that WuJie can find a way back into this game just by defending high ground, because they have very little ways to do that. That's
Yeah,
with a good
I tell you
cast.
guys why they lose 100% is because they have 0 initiation. 0. Like, if you want to look at a good way to lose Dota very quickly, is have 0 initiation
Oh, Coin
and
on
good
ball
initiation.
once again with the silence. Koda comes in. Lizard is there with spread damage now. There's Puck as well with a bit of extra. They bring down 2 targets straight off the bat. BKB and GDS and D. He will still get stopped by Chronosphere. Still draining a lot of damage. You can't quite use it. The anti burst is more than enough to bring him down as well. And GG is called just like that. 25 minutes, a little bit longer. Still not a long game by any means. It's Swifty just suicide
Is
fountain.
under attack. Down.
GG well played indeed.
Yeah, good job, Dragon Drop. You jinxed WuJie. They lost in, what, 18 minutes last time? I actually think it was like 16 or 17, and then 25 this time. What's your problem, man? Why are you jinxing all these teams? They're losing so quickly.
Easy Bugattis.
All your fault.
Easy Bugattis. All I
It's
can
not
say.
even the plays. It's not even the players. It's just all you. No, but really well played so far. It's gonna be interesting to see how both of the